Thanks everybody for being here. It's really encouraging that this many people are taking time out of their day to give this serious thought. My name's Ullman. I'm the water lawyer for the Klamath Tribes. And I wanted to start by describing what my view is of why the tribes are engaged in this with everybody else that you've seen or heard of as being engaged. And that is, they're looking for a new way of doing business. In particular, they're looking for additional stability in their lives, and they know that that means there has to be stability in the lives of their neighbors. And they also think that other people, their neighbors, are looking for stability, and that those neighbors know that means there has to be more stability for the tribes. If one community is out of kilter, then nobody else is going to be able to rest easy. Another way of looking at it is that it just needs to lead to, we need to find a way that leads to less conflict. I'm just going to talk about one point because I think that's the thing I'm most qualified for and thing I can make the most use of your time addressing. I think we're going to do questions and answers later. I'm happy to talk to anybody about anything having to do with this. But the question that I want to focus on is what I see on a web page, what I hear in the community, that somehow, in some way, this deal gives the Klamath tribes all the water in the basin, and that therefore you folks in particular have been sold out. At one level, that's pretty flattering to me if it's true, but it's not. And it gets my blood up to even read that, because I think it's insulting to people that it is suggested to you that anybody, your folks or the tribes, would even bring to you a proposal that does that. It's simply crazy for anyone to say that such an agreement could have been negotiated by the folks who've been working on this. I won't go back over it in detail, but I just want to reinforce the point that you've heard a couple times today that both Paul and Greg made in their opening comments, that there is in the agreement a specific provision of water for the project. That's something the tribes have agreed to and are committed to live with. The details of how that is actually implemented are available on paper. The tribes are committed to that. You can read it for yourself, and there aren't any tricks there. That's the deal, because the tribes get out of that the things that I began my comment by saying they're looking for. More stability in their community, a reduction in the conflict of water, and a certainty, a greater certainty about the future. A future in which nobody gets to have absolute certainty, but we can move together a long way toward reducing the uncertainty that we're all living with now. That's what the tribes are looking for. That's what this proposal offers to them, as well as, they believe, to you. And that's why they're here today, and I'm here today, hoping that you'll take a good hard look at this and see that it's just nonsense to be told that this gives all the water to the Klamath tribes. So that brings me full circle to where I started, and that is to say that the tribes were motivated by trying to bring more stability, find more stability for their own community and the rest of the basin. They were motivated by trying to find a new way of doing business that leads to less conflict, and by finding the water balance that there is in the agreement.